Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn and this is Nanoleaf Canvas. This is an unboxing video to show you what you get in the box, how it mounts on the wall, and to talk about what these lights are capable of. Now you might instantly recognise Nanoleaf because I've done a video on them before, and you might have seen the original light panels, previously known as Nanoleaf Aurora, which were made of triangles. These are now squares. They're also interactive and slightly more interesting than the previous panels, although just as good, depending, and just as expensive. They are very expensive. We'll go into more on that a bit later on. However, these are 6-inch square light panels which are smart and capable of displaying 16.4 million colours at a range of 1200k to 6500k in terms of colour temperature, which means they have an excellent range. They're compatible obviously with the Nanoleaf app, which gives you a range of customization options. Other highlights to these light squares include the fact that rhythm is built in. So if you know anything about Nanoleaf and the previous light panels, you'll know that you could get a rhythm module, which was a plug-in extra, which allowed you to make the lights react to surrounding music and sound. Nanoleaf Canvas comes with that built in as standard, so that's pretty swish. It also has a number of other cool features, which include a number of scenes, downloadable palettes, color palettes, fully customizable on a panel by panel basis, and it's also capable of controlling up to 500 panels in one go, which is pretty impressive. That means you can basically fill an entire wall with those panels and make your room look awesome. Now this is the control box which is included. That's the main majigger for controlling all the other panels, so you need that. That's the essential one. All the goodness is packed in there. You can see on the back where the linkers connect and where you're meant to put the 3M sticker tape, which I'll show you in a minute, to connect it to the wall. These panels obviously connect together in a variety of ways. You can do it in linear or staggered, which means they go side by side or slightly off and adjacent to each other. So you can create designs, a multitude of designs. There are 9 panels included in the box. Just spinning through this a bit more quickly for your pleasure. There are 9 panels as standard, but you can buy expansion kits. That's obviously on the smallest kit. You can buy larger ones. As I said, you can get up to 500 panels. You do need multiple power sources for that, but you are capable of linking 500 together. However, I worked out and it would cost you about £8,000, so it's quite an expensive option. You can see the sort of styles and patterns you can create on Nanoleaf's website within the app, and also I'd highly recommend looking at their Instagram account because they have a number of inspirational designs on there which are pretty cool. You are quite limited with 9, you can't create that much of a cool thing. You'll see I've created this like one-legged donkey on my wall, but you can do other things. So it lends itself to a Tetris inspired design, or lines, simple lines and funky patterns. Looks pretty awesome. I'd say it's probably worth springing for a bit more if you can afford it and getting a few more of these panels if you want to create something really funky. And you'll see what I mean when you take a look at the inspirational designs that are already out there. In the box you get the power lead and adapters. You'll note it comes with the British adapter, which is brilliant. It also has the linker prongs in there, and you can see the 3 metal strips in there. That's what connects the power and also the links between each of the panels. And it's worth noting that there's 3 prongs there. On the original light panels there was 4, so it's a slightly different design, so you can't reuse the original linkers. These ones are also slightly longer and thinner, but they slot in much the same way, so it's an easy connection here. It just slots in and that circuit is made. You can then connect the panels together. Now the company recommends, and I would suggest, putting these on desk, getting an idea of what they're going to look like pattern wise before you even attempt to put them on the wall. It's also worth connecting them up, making sure they're all working properly, and that you know how to connect them, so it gives you an idea of what the lights will look like, but also that every panel is working properly and that your pattern is going to work because of the way the linkers are and the way the connections work. It's fairly easy to put together, but you do need to sort of map it out because you don't want to start putting it on the wall and then finding out it's a bit squiffy. So I'd highly recommend also using a spirit level maybe some stencils. There are a number of different options. I'll show you a bit later in the video. There's an augmented reality app feature within the app which allows you to scan a QR code and then see different designs on the wall and what they'll look like, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. You can also theoretically just draw a 6x6 or cut out a 6x6 inch square stencil and then stick that to the wall with blue tack or something to get an idea of what they'll look like and where you're going to place it, or if you're brave enough, draw on the wall in pencil perhaps. There are different options for doing that and working out what you're going to do. Also taking into account where the power lead's going to go. The power lead can plug in anywhere. It doesn't need to go into the control box necessarily, and it doesn't even need to go into a specific point on the control box. As you can see, I've plugged it in the top and then plugged it in the side. You can plug it in the bottom. But what this does is this allows you to press the buttons to turn it on, but also to change between scenes, shuffle scenes, go for a next color scene, adjust the brightness on the fly. Now you can do all that within the app. You can also do it with voice assistants. So Nanoleaf light panels and the Canvas are both compatible with Google Home and Amazon Alexa. So if you have one of those speakers in your home, you can easily control the panels with your voice, turn the lights on, turning the brightness up and down, and changing the colors on the fly, which is really cool. I really like to be able to do that. You can also use if this then that. It pairs up and works with that. And you can see here, I'm just quickly showing you the rhythm. And it picks up simple things like clicking your fingers together, but it also works with music and sound in the room. So it'll pick up television, music playing, games from games consoles, or whatever you're doing, which is pretty cool. And I'll show that in a bit more depth later on. So the linkers come in this little strip here, which you can easily click off, and you can click them together and put them into the panels, or put them into the panels really easily. And it's also worth noting that you only need one linker per panel, and if you've got a multitude of panels together, you don't need to link each one to every other one. You only need to link one to the other, and that creates the circuit that then allows for the lighting between them. As I said, it is worth testing to make sure. So within the app itself, which you can get for obviously iPhone or Android devices, you can then go in and add a new device, and that talks you through the process of that, but it also gives you access to all the different things for setting up a design and connecting it to your Wi-Fi network, which is obviously an important part of it. Now, I found the setup of this process was really easy. So what you need to do is you need to start setting it up on your phone, make sure it's plugged in and turned on, and then you can just tap your phone to it, and it will automatically find the pairing code. Now just quickly make sure that you've got NFC turned on, which I had, and obviously that it's on your Wi-Fi network, and then it will pick up that code automatically for you and pair it really easily. You can see how easy that was. You can then give it a name. Now that name will obviously been used by your Google Home or Amazon Alexa device once you've set that connection up. And then you can change the colors within the app itself. You can go for basic colors, change between the different palettes. Obviously, as I said, you can download palettes. If you know anything about Nanoleaf anyway, you can download a variety of palettes from the website or from the app for free, and users submit new palettes all the time, so you can get loads of different palettes. And I also really like the scene creator, where you can basically set your own color on a panel by panel basis to whatever you want, and you can create a scene from that and save it. So if you want to have different colored panels, you can customize to your personal preference, and you can do that with ease. In theory, you could have a giant one on the wall and paint something funky on it, and you can see a quick stop motion video of what this looks like during the day and at night. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to do these justice with video. The quality is a bit off, and there's a bit of a sort of light reflection on the video, which doesn't come across very well, but in real life these look very, very good. They got a nice color range, they're really bright, and this is on the right. You can see the original Nanoleaf light panels, and this is what it looks like in rhythm mode. Now it's worth noting the original panels are slightly larger. You can see that from the video. The current Canvas panels are 6 inches by 6 inches, and the other ones are slightly larger. They sit at around 230 millimeters. I'm not sure what that is in inches, but they are bigger. They are triangular in shape, but they've also got that end point to them where there is no light, so you can see the end of the triangle isn't quite complete because of the way the light source works, whereas the Canvas is edge to edge. So you get the full light experience apart from that cross in the middle of each of them, which you might like or you might not, whereas the original panels have a very smooth surface. They don't have that cross shape to them. Both of them deliver a very good RGB lighting experience though, which is fully customizable and is really cool if you've got the rhythm module installed and you can get the lights reacting to what the sounds in the room and changing colours. There's loads of different things you can do with both Nanoleaf Canvas and the original lights, especially if using if this then that, because you can add recipes in, so you can do cool things like have Nanoleaf give a sunrise in the morning so it can brighten up and wake you up as an alarm clock and get darker at night for sunset. Now this is the augmented reality display within the app, which allows you to scan a QR code. So what you have to do is get a QR code from the website, print it out, or you can see you get a link to it there. Print it out from a computer, obviously, put it on the wall, and then you can then get an idea of what the panels would look like if they're on the wall. You can put in how many panels you've got, and then it will let you see, visualize it. I've done it here with the original panels. Obviously, it works with Canvas as well, and that gives you different designs. If you can't think of a design and you want to just see what it would look like on the wall as a finished product, and that gives you a nice idea. You can also use your canvas panels to hide imperfections on the wall, and you can obviously create a number of different patterns. So here it is, I've taken it down, put it back up in a different shape, and I've got both in the same place, but you don't need to do that. And you can group them together so you can have the same lights on both. You can see here I've got a rhythm mode going on, and the colours slightly match. There's a slightly out, but only very slightly. And you can generally group them together with static colours. The other thing of note is the Nanoleaf Canvas panels are interactive, so they're touch capable. Each panel has a touch capability to it, which means you can touch it and change the lights on it. It also just has gesture controls, so it recognises things like swipe up, down, left, right, and double tap on each and every panel, and you can set those gestures up within the app to make changes to it. So as default, for example, if you swipe down, it changes colour, and that change on that colour on that single panel then fills off across the rest of the panels. But you can change that within the app settings, and it gives you a lot of flexibility. And I really like being able to use these lights, and they're really excellently designed, and they're really nice looking, and they're fully expandable. Obviously you can always buy an expansion kit in future or add new panels to it to make it bigger and better if you want an even funkier design, or if you've got loads of cash lying around for some reason, you could splash out and get loads of panels in the first place and fill an entire wall. If you could do that, it would be fantastic. Now, as I said, you can buy different packs on the website currently, and there is the option of buying a pack with 25 panels in it, but it is £400, I believe. The standard 9-panel pack is around £200, so that itself, you can see, is very expensive. And obviously whether you're going to buy that or not, or whether it's a luxury item, is up to your bank account. But they do make a very nice addition to the home. They're incredibly flexible. They've got loads of different ways of using them. They react really cool with music, but they can customize in a variety of different ways. Anyway, I'm going to do a comparison video between the two in future as well. Hope you found this video useful. Please like, subscribe, and come back for more in future. This has been the Provoked Prawn, and this has been Nanoleaf Canvas.